Welcome to Quickcasters, everyone. And, with Halloween just around the corner, I thought we'd do something a little different, and dive into a case that's truly unsettling. The case of Todd Kohlhepp.
A man who really embodies that idea, that evil can wear a very normal face.
Yeah. Yeah, and a case that I think really highlights how the lines between our online lives and our offline lives are really blurred.
Oh, absolutely. And in Kohlhepp's case, it's we see this really disturbing intersection of technology and just pure evil.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's start by sort of unpacking the origins of his darkness. What can you tell us about Kohlhepp's childhood?
Well, his early life was really kind of a breeding ground for the darkness that would ultimately consume him. Even as a child, he exhibited these really disturbing behaviors, aggression towards other children, a fascination with animal torture, and a real inability to control his temper.
It's like the blueprint for a predator, right there. Were there any sort of professional interventions or attempts to address these issues?
Yeah, and it's pretty chilling. At the age of 9, he was already considered a threat, and was diagnosed by a child psychiatrist as having potential sociopathic tendencies.
Wow.
A disturbing fixation on sex and just a really volatile temperament.
It's frightening, a child that young exhibiting, such deeply disturbing traits.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what could have been done differently, if anything.
Yeah, it's a question that haunts a lot of these cases. Like,
Right.
was it nature or was it nurture? Sadly, in Kohlhepp's case, these early warning signs culminated in a truly horrific act during his teenage years. He kidnapped and sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl.
Oh my gosh.
And that landed him in prison for 15 years.
Wow. So prison, obviously was meant to rehabilitate him. Did it work?
Well, that's where Kohlhepp's story takes a really unsettling turn. Upon his release, he seemingly transformed himself into this model citizen. He became a successful real estate agent, built a career, interacted with people on a daily basis. But as we'll see, this outward facade of normalcy really masked a very, very disturbed psyche.
So he was able to basically fool everyone into believing that he was a changed man.
Yeah, to a large extent, yes. He cultivated this image of respectability, hid his true nature behind this veil of professional success. But even during this period, there were these subtle glimpses of his darker side, particularly in his interactions with women, which were often described as unsettling and inappropriate.
It's almost like he was hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
But eventually the mask slipped right.
Tragically, yes. The first murders that are linked to Kohlhepp occurred in 2003, and it was a chilling quadruple homicide at a motorcycle shop called Superbike Motorsports.
Wow. What was the motive behind such a brutal act?
It was seemingly insignificant, a perceived slight that triggered this incredibly violent reaction. Kohlhepp felt that he had been mocked for his lack of motorcycle expertise.
Wow.
And his response was to just cold-bloodedly murder 4 people.
Oh my God.
The mechanic, the manager, the owner, and even the owner's mother.
It's hard to comprehend how, a minor insult could lead to such a horrific act of violence. Was this sort of the beginning of his killing spree?
Unfortunately, no. In 2015, Kohlhepp would claim 2 more victims, a couple named Kayla Brown and Charlie Carver. They were lured to his property under false pretenses.
And this is where the case takes an even darker turn, I think. What happened to Kyla and Charlie?
Kohlhepp held them captive on his property, and Charlie Carver was tragically murdered shortly after they arrived. But Kala endured a truly horrific ordeal.
Oh my gosh, what happened to her?
She was kept alive, imprisoned in a metal container on Kohlhepp's property for 2 agonizing months.
It's a horrifying thought. To be held captive at the mercy of someone like Kohlhepp.
It really is. The details of her captivity are deeply disturbing. However, Kala's story does have a glimmer of hope. Authorities were able to track her phone signal to Kohlhepp's property, and after hearing her cries for help, they rescued her.
Wow. A truly miraculous escape from a nightmare scenario. Her rescue, I imagine, must have been instrumental in leading to Kohlhepp's arrest.
Absolutely. It marked the beginning of the unraveling of his carefully constructed facade. And with Kola's rescue, the investigation into Kohlhepp's crimes really intensified, leading to the discovery of a horrifying truth that would shock the nation.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Stick with us as we delve deeper into the chilling world of the Amazon review killer. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Quickcasters for more insights into the darkest corners of the human psyche. So, where we left off, we were talking about, the horrifying discovery of Kayla Brown and the investigation into Kohlhepp's crimes really started to intensify.
Yeah, this is where it takes a really, really disturbing turn.
Yeah.
I mean, so we know he was a real estate agent,
Right.
but he also meticulously documented his actions, online.
He documented them online.
He did through product reviews.
Through product reviews?
On Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kohlhepp, he purchased, tools and weapons online, leaving behind these reviews that in hindsight are just bone-chilling.
Wow, so he was essentially bragging about his crimes in a public forum.
Yeah, it adds this layer of just perverse narcissism to the whole thing.
Wow.
He seemed to revel in the attention, even if it was coming from the shadows.
This digital trail of depravity must have been instrumental in his conviction.
Absolutely. These reviews, once they were discovered, provided undeniable evidence of his involvement in these crimes. And it's a stark reminder that in the digital age, even our darkest secrets can leave a trace.
It's a sobering thought that the very tools that we use for convenience and connection can be exploited for such sinister purposes.
Yeah.
What was the public's reaction to the discovery of these reviews?
It was a mixture of horror and disbelief. People were struggling to reconcile the image of this successful real estate agent with the reality of a cold-blooded killer who was documenting his crimes online.
Right.
It just shattered the illusion of separation between the online world and the real world.
Yeah.
And it really highlighted the very real consequences of digital actions.
Right. It's a reminder that the internet, while it's a powerful tool for communication and information, it can also be a cutting-edge sword.
Oh, absolutely.
Kohlhepp's story doesn't end with his arrest, though.
That's right.
In a chilling twist, he claimed to have committed many more murders than those he was actually convicted of.
Yeah, that's perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this entire case.
Right.
Kohlhepp taunted authorities, claiming that they wouldn't have enough fingers to count all of his victims.
It's a horrifying thought that there are potentially more victims out there.
Yeah.
Their stories still untold. Did he offer any specifics about these potential other victims?
No. Frustratingly, he remained vague and even seemed to sort of enjoy the fear and speculation that he was generating.
Right.
And that's left investigators and the families of these potential victims, in a perpetual state of agonizing uncertainty.
It's a cruel game, a manipulation tactic designed to just further his notoriety and inflict more pain.
It is.
Did investigators believe that Kohlhepp's claims were credible?
I mean, given his history of violence,
Right.
and his meticulous planning and the cold-blooded execution of his known crimes, they have to take his claims seriously.
Right.
And the possibility that he's telling the truth is a very chilling one.
So the search for more victims continues.
It does. Investigators are using every tool at their disposal, advanced forensic techniques, they're re-examining old evidence.
Right.
They're even using ground-penetrating radar to search his former properties.
Mm-hmm.
It's a race against time, hoping to bring some closure to families who've been living in a nightmare for years.
Right. A glimmer of hope for justice amidst the darkness of this case. Kohlhepp's crimes have sent shockwaves through our society. And it's forced us to confront some really uncomfortable truths about the nature of evil and its ability to hide in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the key takeaways from this case, particularly in the context of our increasingly digital world?
Well, Kohlhepp's case is a chilling reminder that we can never truly know what lurks beneath the surface. He exploited our trust, our assumptions about normalcy, and our reliance on technology to commit and conceal his horrific acts.
Right. It's a stark warning that we must remain vigilant, both online and offline.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts, be aware of the warning signs, and report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Don't hesitate to hit that like button and subscribe to Quickcasters for more in-depth explorations of true crime cases. Kohlhepp's case has really challenged law enforcement agencies, forcing them to adapt their their methods, in this era where criminals are increasingly tech savvy.
It's really become a case study for law enforcement agencies around the world. Kohlhepp's case, I mean, it underscores the need for a much more holistic approach to criminal profiling, one that considers online behavior and digital footprints as really key components of an investigation.
Yeah, it's like a new battleground,
Well-
in the fight against crime. A digital frontier where investigators have to be as adept at navigating the virtual world as they are the physical one.
Absolutely. I mean, Kohlhepp's use of Amazon reviews,
Yeah.
to document his crimes, it highlights just how even seemingly harmless platforms can be exploited, for really sinister purposes.
Right.
And it forced law enforcement to recognize the importance of digital forensics and really the need to collaborate with tech companies to track down criminals that operate in the online realm.
Yeah. It's a chilling reminder that our digital lives can have very real and devastating consequences.
Yeah.
But what about the victims and their families? They are the true heart of this tragedy, living with the pain and trauma of Kohlhepp's actions.
Yeah. The families of Kohlhepp's victims continue to grapple with unimaginable loss and this lingering fear that there may be more victims out there, and their strength and resilience in the face of such adversity is really remarkable.
Yeah. What resources are available for these families who are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives?
Well, there are a number of organizations that are dedicated to supporting victims of violent crime and their families. They offer counseling, legal aid, financial assistance, and other really crucial resources to help them navigate the aftermath of a tragedy like this. These organizations really provide a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times.
It's crucial that these resources are readily available and accessible to anyone who needs them. I mean, the emotional and psychological scars of such crimes can run very deep, and the journey to healing is often long and arduous.
Absolutely, and the ripple effects of Kohlhepp's crimes extend far beyond, just the immediate victims. They serve as a reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of normalcy, and the importance of vigilance in a world where danger can often be disguised as familiarity.
So as we conclude this truly harrowing exploration of Todd Kohlhepp and his crimes, what are some key takeaways that our listeners should keep in mind?
I think the biggest one is that Kohlhepp's case is a chilling reminder that evil can wear many masks.
Yeah.
We have to be vigilant, both online and offline, and trust our instincts when something feels wrong. Don't dismiss red flags or gut feelings. Report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Your safety and the safety of your loved ones is paramount.
Yeah, and it's also a stark reminder that our digital footprints can have very real and lasting consequences.
Absolutely.
Be mindful of what you share online, protect your privacy, and be cautious of those you interact with in the virtual world.
Right.
The internet can be a powerful tool, but it can also be a very dangerous weapon in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
And most importantly, let's remember the victims. Their stories serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and a call to action for all of us to work together to prevent future tragedies. We must remain vigilant, advocate for stronger safeguards, and support organizations dedicated to helping victims of violence. Thank you for joining us on this unsettling journey into the dark heart of Todd Kohlhepp, the Amazon review killer. We hope that by shedding light on this case, we can raise awareness about the dangers lurking in our increasingly digital world, the importance of mental health awareness, and the enduring impact of violence on individuals and communities. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to the resources available. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Quickcasters for more thought-provoking deep dives into the world's most fascinating and unsettling cases.